13, 14, 30, 31, 31, 40. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Quirky Pineapples. If you're new here, I'm Vina, a plant-based recipe developer and food blogger. And I am here to say that I'm sorry because your girl went ghost for a little bit. The best way that I can describe it is if you've ever been juggling a lot and you're trying to like add extra balls to your juggling act, and then you get really overwhelmed by it. And instead of just taking a few balls out, you just drop all the balls. Well, that's what I did. And it probably wasn't the best thing, but it was good for me because I needed to take some time to kind of refocus and kind of figure out what it was that I needed to be doing. And so, what I realized is that, I don't know, I feel like I love Quirky Pineapples. Like, I love doing this. And I think it sucks when I reach the point of burnout because, like, I think the stressed out version of me will convince myself that I don't really like to do this. And I do. And for those of you who reached out to me and were like, hey, like, you okay over there, girl? Thank you. I appreciate that so very much. Sorry if you guys can hear a little bit of traffic. I am on my morning walk. I'm officially on summer break, so I apologize. But yeah, those of you who reached out to me to check in on me, I appreciate it so much. Um, Looking back, like I did want to do a video just saying that I was going to step back for a little while. I feel like I just had to get through those last like weeks or that last month of work, closing up my library, and just kind of step into the summer ready and refreshed and ready to get back to you guys. And so that's basically where I am. But I will say that the channel will change just a little bit. Still going to focus heavily on plant-based food, of course, like that's my whole thing. That's not going to change by any means. So you guys are going to continue to get that from me, of course. I'm never changing that. But I do want to include a little bit more of, oop, hold on, there's children. I think we're alone now, sort of. Sorry, there were children coming up, so I wanted to make sure that they didn't end up in my shot. But yeah. So yeah, I am refocusing just a little bit. I guess you could say I'm in my wellness era a little bit. So I'm not only going to be focusing on plant-based cooking, but also like the wellness component of things, which I think is important. At least for me in the time that I'm in my life right now. I'm turning 40, and if I'm not mistaken, exactly a month. I think today, I can't remember the date today, but pretty much in exactly a month, I'm turning 40, and I'm super excited about that. But as I like kind of look back on my 30s, I really did grind myself into the ground a lot in my 30s, and yes, it paid off, but it also like took a bit of a toll on me. So I want to make sure that not only am I working on growing my business and growing my life and my goals, but also that I am taking proper care of myself in the meantime. Because I feel like had I been taking really good care of myself during all of this, I probably wouldn't have burnt out as hard as I did. Or I think everyone's saying like crash out now. And I don't think I would have crashed out as hard as I did. So yeah, so I don't want to like, spend the whole like vlog slash what I eat in this video, like talking, but I don't know. I just feel like for those of you who are here and who comment, I feel like I know that you guys can definitely like relate to that. And the idea of like, as you're getting older, you're really like trying to lock in on these things that you want for yourself. But then what you realize is that you have a hard time juggling all of it. Sometimes I think to myself like, man, my 20s were a really good time to do a lot of these things because I feel like obviously I had more energy. But if I'm being totally honest about that, I remember being kind of tired in my 20s too. And I think that's probably because like I worked full time ever since I was like 17 years old and just never stopped. So, yeah. But I'm just going to take a moment in the shade where there's nobody around to just like, I don't know, pretty much just talk to you guys about what it is that this channel is going to look like and what it is that I'm going to be sharing and showing with you. Of course, someone's pulling up now. I'm still kind of getting used to this whole like pulling the camera out while I'm outside of my home. I feel like that's the fun and safe part about making food content is that you mostly make it in your house. But yeah, so a couple of things that you're gonna expect here now is I am going to show you this whole blogging journey and trying to grow my online business. We are going to still have a whole lot of fun with food, and I'm going to show you lots and lots of things that I'm cooking, along with, of course, like recipe development. One thing that kind of was a ball that I dropped, um, like early into this whole like YouTube journey is my um website, is my actual like blog website. It got to be kind of hard to like keep up with putting recipes on there along with uploading videos to YouTube. So I'm trying to figure out a happy balance for that because my blog is actually really important to me. So I want to make sure also that it looks great, but then like if I show you guys a recipe, I want you to be able to click on it easily and find it easily on the website instead of having to like read through the description box. So yeah, that along with like showing you guys how I'm trying to improve my health. Um, I do eat well, but I've been battling my fibroids for like almost 13 years now. And it is so not fun to deal with. It has been like one of the hardest things that I've had to do and deal with. A couple of years ago, I had surgery to help shrink them. I had a uterine artery embolization. And what that was supposed to do is cut off the blood flow to my uterus um, so that it wasn't like feeding the fibroids. But I've noticed over the past like year that it went from seemingly getting smaller to it seems like they're getting much bigger and that the surgery really didn't work. Which my doctor did tell me that with the size of mine that the surgery might not do exactly what I was hoping for. But I still wanted to be really optimistic and I really wanted to avoid having a really invasive surgery like a myomectomy or even having a hysterectomy, which I've gotten so frustrated on some days that I have seriously thought about a hysterectomy, but I'm still holding on. I feel like I want to just try everything first before I do make that step or that decision. So I'll be sharing that along with you. You guys might have noticed that I wear a lot of sweatshirts and like heavier tops. And that's because usually I'm trying to hide like my little belly. I won't show you right now, but I'll probably like put a clip in or something like that that shows you what it is that I'm always hiding because I look pregnant a lot of the times. Like even though the rest of me is like just kind of normal size, my belly looks pregnant for like half the month. So yeah, not the best feeling in the world, and I think it messes with my confidence, and sometimes it messes with, my wanting to show up on camera, but I don't want that to stop me from showing up and sharing recipes and all of that because I love doing it, so, yeah. And then, um, I feel like I just wanna share more. I don't wanna, like, hide all of my life, and I do believe in, like, hard boundaries between my life and what I share out in the world. But in this case, I feel like it could probably be really helpful for someone else. And then even for me, like having you guys as an accountability coach, you'll notice like as I've been taking my walk, I've been practicing a language. I've been doing language learning for a while now to learn Portuguese. And that is because Husbandron and I have been wanting to move abroad to Portugal pretty much for the past like oh gosh, like 5 years now. I think we made a concrete decision about 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago. We've done 2 scouting trips already. We know we want to go. We've already made steps. It's just been a matter of making things happen so that we can be approved for our visa. Our final component is basically independent income, and neither of our jobs are allowing us to work remotely. So we have to create it ourselves. And so that's been a journey in and of itself. I won't really go too deep into why we want to move, at least not just yet, because I feel like some people might have a lot of opinions about that. And I'm not particularly interested in those opinions. But we have been wanting to move abroad. If I was to say the short version of it, it's just that the US doesn't feel as hospitable as we feel that it should be, or it just doesn't feel as sustainable of a life as we feel like it should be, at least for the two of us. Everyone, has their own personal reasons for doing things. But yeah, so that's what you're going to get. I'm going to be sharing my wellness journey. I'm going to continue, of course, sharing plant-based food and recipes as much as I possibly can. And I'm going to, of course, share um, growing this business and my moving abroad journey, which is so much harder than what people seem to make it out to be. But also, sometimes I wonder if I'm overthinking it. Like, straight up, like, am I overthinking this thing that I've really been trying to do for the past like 4 years? So, you guys will see everything that goes into that. And you'll get a little bit more of Vina along with the food. Now, before I went ghost on you guys, I actually did batch a little bit of content, but it ended up being lost. And it was like either I pick up the camera and I try to like redeem myself, or I just let it go. And I decided to just kind of let it go because I didn't want to, I just wasn't in the headspace for it. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I appreciate you guys who were like, I'm not going to unsubscribe. I'm going to hang on because I know she's coming back. I really genuinely appreciate that. Really appreciate it. So yeah, so I'm back, y'all. So what's on the itinerary for today? Now that I've been talking for about 10 minutes, which I try not to do too much of. The itinerary for today is getting my walk. So check, that is done. I'm going to go home and try to do a little bit of work, but I'm not so sure I'm going to be able to get too much done because I got out late. I got out a lot later, so I'm out here like sweating. The overcast completely went away, and I just feel so silly because I completely lost all of the nice overcast that was here, and it was nice and cool, but then it got really hot. And so I'm going to end up grabbing breakfast so that I can bring breakfast and coffee to David because, or Husbandtron, you guys know his name by now, but to Husbandtron so that he can have kind of lunch. He takes his lunch break around like 10ish. And it is, what time is it right now? It is 9 o'clock. So I'm on my way back home so that I can um, go get coffee, probably tea for me, and a little bit of breakfast so that we're not starving, and get some work done. And then I'm going to do a workout or go grocery shopping. There's a lot that needs to be done. I can't even name it right now. But yeah, so I'm going to take you guys probably with me to the coffee shop that is in the neighborhood. It's so cute. But I'm probably going to take you guys to the coffee shop to go get coffee, and then we'll just check back in from there because it's a lot that needs to be done today. Okay, so I'm back in the car. I didn't get a chance to record in there a little bit like I wanted to. It's a really cute cafe. But there were a few people in there and they were with like their little ones, and so I wanted to be respectful of that. But yeah, so I got a nice little strawberry hibiscus, which it's really good. Husbandtron didn't want coffee. I think because he already had coffee this morning, we have a tendency to make it at home. And then right now, because I am in my luteal phase, I don't drink caffeine in my luteal phase, even though for some reason I crave it like nobody's business. But yeah, so I got us both some strawberry hibiscus teas, which were nice and refreshing. And then I got my little uh, vegan breakfast burrito. It's actually quite big, so we're gonna share that. So let me get myself moving. Ooh, my hand sanitizer. I was about to fall. So yeah, so just a quick breakfast before I try to lock into work. Um, One, because work today is pretty much grocery list and grocery shopping, but I don't like to shop while I'm hungry because then I can't make good decisions. I cannot be expected to make good decisions while I'm hungry in the grocery store. I will come back with so many snacks and things like that. But yeah. So this whole like wellness journey thing that I've been on is really interesting because I've been cycle syncing, which is really interesting to do because we kind of go through life not thinking too much about the four phases of our cycle. And now I feel like it's all that I think about. It's like week by week because now I'm trying to like make sure I eat according to that phase. I'm trying to make sure that I intermittent fast according to that phase. I know intermittent fasting can be a little controversial for people. I'm more so doing it not necessarily to lose weight, but to kind of help with my hormonal symptoms. I don't do it in the traditional sense where it's like all 30 days or, 31 days of the month. I, you know, have an 8-hour eating window. I fast according to what phase of my cycle I'm in. And so, um, there's certain days where I can probably go a little harder, and then there's days where I don't do it at all. Like currently right now, I'm not intermittent fasting. It's not recommended for the time frame that I'm in right now. I've been reading a couple of books, and I'll probably show them to you guys a little bit later. But reading some books about cycle syncing and intermittent fasting properly for the female body, or at least like the menstruating body, um, because it's also different for perimenopause or postmenopause, things like that. So yeah, it's so fun being a girl. It's so fun. There's so many factors that I wish I would have learned about sooner. But I went on this whole deep dive reading books and watching videos and just trying to like educate myself on my body because I'm like, whatever it is that I'm doing, even though I eat well, it just doesn't seem to be enough. So yeah, that's the whole spiel with that. And I'll probably talk a little bit about it more later when I go into like the books that I'm reading. But yeah. Um, but of course, like just getting more movement, which I feel like I'm great at getting movement in during the summer and my breaks. But then as soon as I go back to work, I think I my schedule it gets all whacked out because I have like a specific schedule for when I'm on break, and then I have a schedule for when I am working. And sometimes I feel like I have a hard time sticking to that schedule because like I'll get off from work and then feel like I don't feel like doing all the things that I have scheduled, which I have to work on because, like, if I really, really want to make this business grow and if I really want to be able to move abroad soon, then I have to really commit to it. So, yeah, that's kind of the fun part about, I guess, taking you guys along with me is that I don't know if I'm going to have to pick up the camera and make sure that I do what it is I'm supposed to do today. It really does hold me accountable. All right, so I've got my breakfast burrito here, and let me show you the goodness that is this burrito. I think it has like vegan chorizo and tofu scramble, looks like some spinach, and for some reason, what seems to be an ungodly amount of potato, but I'm okay with that. And then, like I said, in the cart, I got a hibiscus, strawberry hibiscus iced tea, which is perfect for right now because it is pretty warm. We've got like the blinds like almost closed right now, and like a breeze coming in, and it's still kind of a warm breeze, but it's nice. I can't complain because when it was like cold and rainy, then I didn't like it, and when it was super cloudy, I definitely didn't like it. So yeah. But I'm just going to do half, and then I gave husband half, and I'm going to enjoy my delicious breakfast and then get a little bit of work done. Okay, so I just finished my first Pilates reformer workout, and it is no joke, which I knew. I knew I wanted to do something that would challenge me, but also like the goal is strength. The goal is range of motion. Um, my like whole workout routine situation that I wanted to have is to like switch it up regularly. So like Pilates a couple of days a week, maybe some dance or stepper, because I did buy a little stepper, so I'm really excited about using it. Sorry. So I'm really excited about using the stepper, but um after just doing that, I'm a little nervous, to say the least, about how I'm going to feel tomorrow morning. But yes, so I have this reformer here, and it folds up and kind of fits into the corner. Husband kind of surprised me with it as sort of a birthday gift, or one of my birthday gifts. So I thought that was really nice. My husband's kind of one of those people that if I mention that I want to do something, he will support it like 100%, which is really, really sweet. I always tell people, like, if I decided that I wanted to like join the circus or join like Cirque du Soleil, he would come home with like aerial bands or something like that. It's just like when I said that I wanted to do YouTube, he got me a bunch of camera equipment and helped me learn how to edit and things like that. So yeah, so the new thing now is the Pilates. Lucky for him, I don't take up too many hobbies, but yeah. So here, I'll flip this so that you can kind of get a better look at it. But yeah, it's this little machine here. Let me step back. It is this lovely machine here. And he put it together for me and everything. And so I thought it was just really nice of him. But yeah, so um at this point, I don't know if I'm going to um have it's like almost 2. I don't know if I'm gonna end up having lunch. I think I'm gonna have a protein bar, which now I'm wondering where I put it. Let's see. I think I'm gonna have a protein bar because I really want to shower after having taken a walk. But I like to have the Aloha bars. I love them. They're great. They're made with like pea protein and brown rice protein and all that good stuff. And then to me, it's like the closest thing to tasting like a chocolate bar. And then I know earlier I talked a little bit about how I was dealing with my fibroids seemingly. Uh-oh. My fibroids seemingly wanting to like grow back on me. And so, like I said, it seems as though, so if I turn to the side, you can kind of see how um, I have kind of like this like pot belly situation going on. And those are my lovely little fibroids that I like to call my aliens. Um, but after all this time of like dealing with them, it is frustrating. And um, I don't know, like as women, whether we want to admit it or not, we care about our body image. It's just the reality of it. And especially if I'm putting the camera in front of me um for my job and letting people see me it can be a little intimidating and sometimes it can be tough, especially like I feel like sometimes people feel like being plant-based or eating plant-based, I think they look at it more like a diet, in that if you're eating that way, then you should just automatically be skinny. And that's not really how that works. Calories are calories, but also like some of us are dealing with hormonal imbalances and like myself. And I know there's so many of us that are dealing with like PCOS or endometriosis, or in my case, uterine fibroids or insulin resistance, like all of these different things. And it plays such a huge role in um, how we can manage our weight and things like that. I'm like, to me, I'm like a medium, but with like a little watermelon under my under my shirt. But yeah, it does make me feel self-conscious a lot, especially since, like I said, I take pretty good care of myself. I eat well. I try to stay as active as possible. So I don't know. I don't really have the answer to, I don't have like the solution for it. I've been in and out of the doctor. I've had surgery. Yeah, it can be really hard. And I think that was also one of the reasons why I kind of stepped away from the channel for like a second, because I think I got really frustrated and angry, to say the least, at my body, because I'm like, okay, like I'm trying to give you everything that you need, and I've taken out the things that you don't like, and you're still not cooperating with me. And so um I think that just sometimes we get down in the dumps. It's just the reality of it. I'm almost 40, and I usually know how to pull myself out of it. And I'm grateful that I have like a really supportive partner that'll help me out of my dumps sometimes. But sometimes you're down in the dumps and you just stay there for a little bit. And so I feel like that might have also had been what happened. I got in my feels and I got in my emotions about how I looked and how I was also feeling, because having a hormonal imbalance really does affect your mood a lot and your productivity, all kinds of things, just a myriad of things. So yeah. But yeah, so there, I showed you guys my little watermelon. Um, I sometimes call it an alien. I sometimes call it a watermelon. It just depends on the day. But yeah, so that's why you guys see me in large shirts a lot of times and sweatshirts. And I even like kind of debated about showing my Pilates workout with me in a tank top, because I don't usually wear fitted things. But the reality of it is that this is the body that I'm living in right now, and I can't do, I can't change it, like with the exception of like going and getting a hysterectomy right now, I can't change it at this exact moment. So I just have to kind of like live with it and do the absolute best I can, which is what I'm doing. So yeah, um, I am going to eat my protein bar and take a sinus Tylenol, because I've spent a lot of time outside today and my head is pounding. I don't know how I made it through the whole Pilates workout. And then I'm gonna shower and get this like makeup off. I'm sort of wearing makeup, but I'm not. I wear like a tinted SPF moisturizer serum type thing, the Ilia brand, and I really like it. Because usually I don't like to just completely cover up my face. Um, I like to look natural. So yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I think I'm gonna try and prep dinner early so that I don't have to worry about it later, while I still have some energy left. All right, so I'm all fresh. I've made my dinner. I didn't really record that because all I made was like a tofu tikka masala. Hope you guys can see that, with rice, and spinach, all that good stuff. I made this a few times before, I think, on the channel, so nothing new. And then I have my Health Aid kombucha. This one is the orange creamsicle. It's pretty good. Not as creamsickly. I mean, it's kind of hard to do that with kombucha because it's always going to be a little sour. So it's kind of like a tart kombucha, like a tart orange creamsicle, but I don't usually like orange things, but I do like orange cream things. It's interesting. But I thought before I relax for the night and eat my dinner and everything that I would share with you guys some of the things that I've been doing and reading. So I told you I'm on this whole like wellness kick, I suppose. I don't think this is going to be temporary. I think this is just like the life that I'm going to settle into, where I'm just trying to be a little bit more holistic. So not just looking at my food, but looking at my movement and all of that. Like you guys saw me on that reformer fighting for my life. But I thought I mentioned some of the books that I've been reading. So I've been trying to learn a little bit more about my hormones and kind of understanding my whole fibroid situation. So I've been reading The Woman Code by Elisa Vitti. I've also been reading her other book called In Flow or In the Flow. This one, um, really, really helpful. I haven't gotten through Woman Code all the way to like be able to say much about that, but this one definitely helped to just try and figure out how to live around my cycle. And then I've also been reading, and I'm almost finished with this one, Fast Like a Girl. This one is by Dr. Mindy Peltz. And I have found it to be really helpful as well. I've done intermittent fasting before, and I did see as far as like weight loss results, but I didn't know that fasting had some really important like healing effects to it. And so I've been trying to learn about that and then also to fast properly as a woman because we cannot fast the same way or do almost anything the same as men. We can do the things, we just have to do them slightly different. Also, as far as fiction, I finished Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, and now I've got more days at the Morisaki Bookshop. And I really, really liked the first one. It actually started out, I bought the second one on accident, thinking that it was the first one. And then I had to go back to the store and buy the first one. But I'm kind of glad that I did because I get to finish the story. It's about a young woman. Well, this one is a continuation, but the first one is about a young woman who her life kind of blows up a little bit. So she moves in to the apartment above her uncle's bookshop in the Jimbacho neighborhood of Tokyo. And through the books and through their relationship, she kind of finds her way back to herself after a breakup and quitting her job. And just like I said, her whole life blew up. So just kind of finding her way back to herself. And now this is a continuation. And I really like the first one. So I'm excited about reading this. I would say if I really commit to it, I can probably finish it in the next week or so. And then I've been trying to limit my screen time, which I just feel like with all of the different things going on in the world, we obviously can't ignore those things, but we cannot swim in all of it all day long. We just can't. And even still, I just find that certain social media platforms, once you get on there, like for me, I love to see happy people enjoying their life. I like to see cooking, of course, and travel and fitness and all those wonderful things. But then it's like, I'll start there. And even though the algorithm is supposed to be giving me more of that, it does like to throw in the things that are kind of triggering and upsetting. And I just don't like that. I don't like that component where you were happy and you were fine a second ago and then some craziness falls on your feed and you're like, oh my god. So definitely limiting the amount of time I'm spending on my phone scrolling. I also feel like it's just a huge time suck, and right now I need to use that time doing other things um that make me feel good or that feed my soul or help improve my life. Of course, there's time to sit and relax and to be kind of clicked off, but I don't want to click off with the phone necessarily. I would like to click off with a book. Or in this case, I found this cute little word search in the grocery store. And it's just like, of course, I love SpongeBob, so that's what caught my eye with it. But it's really just SpongeBob themed, but it just has like lots of like crossword puzzles and um word searches and fun little word games and things like that. And so when I find myself kind of wanting to just pick up my phone, I am like, you know what, let me grab my pen and just do a puzzle. And usually that kind of helps. um, and then like I'll watch like House Hunters International or um other shows and things like that that just make me feel good. Sometimes I'll binge watch, a show to just relax at the end of the night. And by binge watch, I mean I'll make it through like 2 or 3 episodes before I fall asleep. But yeah, so I'm just trying to be mindful of how I spend my time, how I feed myself, how I don't know, just what I let in, what I let in. And I'm sorry, I hope you guys can't hear my washing machine going too much. It's loud to me, but I'm hoping that the microphone is helping with that. But yeah, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself on all realms. And I feel like I kind of let myself get sucked into the pit, which is why you guys didn't see me for a month. And so, yeah. So consider this my little start back, my little soft start back. Sorry we weren't in the kitchen very much. Um, it's warm today, and just trying to film and cook at the same time, I would be sweating. So, but don't worry, I am going to continue with food content. I also might do a pantry organization. I know I mentioned doing that last summer, but it's really gotten a little crazy in there. So it is time to fix it. So I'll probably show you guys that. And I'm going to continue with some meal prep, especially since it kind of helps sometimes to just do some meal prep so that you're not cooking every night in the summer. Because it just gets really hot. But yeah. And I'm sorry, my hair went through a lot today, I feel. So you've seen many iterations of my hair today. And so this is just the end of the day, letting it breathe. I'm pretty sure it was a little humid this morning when I went out for my little hike. So yeah. But yeah. So again, like thank you guys for rocking with me. I know being away for a month isn't the best as far as like when you like watching someone and you're just like, where are you? And there were some of you that reached out to me in email that put an extra comment and asked how I was doing. And I really appreciate that. It also was a kick in the pants to be like, girl, what are you doing? Get back on there. Because people do want to see you. And I think that's really, it's such a strange concept to me because um, I used to have like ridiculous stage fright, like crazy stage fright, and I didn't like to be seen. So coming on here and cooking with you guys and sharing my life with you guys, it's a little strange for me. But again, like now I'm to this point where I just want to share more. I want to share with you my language learning journey. I want to share with you my wellness journey. I want to share with you guys my moving abroad journey because I don't know, it helps sometimes to just see someone else who might be dealing with the same thing that you're dealing with or thinking about the same thing that you're thinking about. Um, yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, but yeah. So don't worry. Like I said, lots of food content is going to continue, but you're just getting a little bit more of Vina and all of this. So yeah. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see all of that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.